So we're Captain America for a group, and today we're going to do our presentation on Knott's Berry Farm. So as I'm sure you're aware, Knott's Berry Farm is a 160-acre theme park located in Southern California. This amusement park is currently owned by Cedar Fair Entertainment Company as of 1997, and their mission statement, which also applies to Knott's, is being dedicated to providing their guests with world-class thrills, fun, and family entertainment, guided by the principles of safety, service, courtesy, cleanliness, and integrity. Knott's Berry Farm has a particular focus on thrill rides, restaurants, and live entertainment for all in 4 different themed areas throughout the park. There are a variety of seasonal events that occur each year as well. Knott's also has a water park open every summer across the street named Soak City. Knott's Berry Farm started off in 1920 as a small area serving various plants, berries, pies, and later on fried chicken. In the 1940s, it became an Old West themed town, and the area continued to expand, adding more theme attractions. The first 2 park rides opened in 1960, and the park expanded more throughout the years, adding Peanuts characters to the theme and more attractions. Now I'll pass it on to Annie.
Thank you, Kaden. So for current products and services, besides its rides, shows, and festivals, Knott's Berry Farm is known as a theme park that's able to offer admissions tickets at very affordable rates, which is from $70 and more, with multiple tickets packages to increase flexibility and saving for customers, which means that the more people attending, the more saving overall for the entire group. And now Sue will talk about the current target market.
Thank you, Annie. Right now, Knott's Berry Farm's target market primarily focused on both tourists and local with specific appeal to 3 age groups: children, teenagers, and young adults. Now I'll pass it on to Denny for SWOT analysis.
Thank you, Sue. So we're going to look at the current situation analysis. We're going to go ahead and start with the SWOT analysis. So with its strengths, like we said earlier, its daily admission tickets are cheaper relative to other major competitors such as Disneyland and Universal Studios. In addition, it's well known for its thrill rides, so it has a lot of advantage there compared to the rides of those other parks. As for Knott's Berry Farm weaknesses, they are not known for having the greatest customer service. In addition, their branding is less popular. As for opportunities, they could lean into their thrill rides more, and they could also look to expand their park with more features and functions. As for threats, there is still the lingering pandemic fears, which might cause customers to not want to go to parks out of safety reasons. In addition, like we said earlier, the other brands are much more popular. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Kevin.
So we're going to talk about customer needs analysis right now. So Knott's has had issues with its service and operations. According to the company's Yelp reviews that we gathered online, customers have complained about slow moving lines, bad service, not returning calls to customers, not refunding them, etc. We think refunding the customer ensures that they'll return and do business again due to customer satisfaction. And to fix the operations, we think Knott's should hire more employees to reduce lines at the restaurants and rides. They should hire more engineers to perform maintenance faster. And yeah, it'll result in a higher salaries and wages expense. But at the same time, it may help to increase revenue operations due to better customer service and the possibility that customers will return. So I'm going to pass it on to Sophie.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the key competitor analysis. Knott's Berry Farm is facing competition from companies providing the same field services. The pricing at Knott's. So Knott's Berry Farm for a single day ticket, it's $65. For a season pass, it's $150. And their competitors such as Disneyland and Universal. For Disneyland is $200 for a single day ticket and $400 to $1,400 for an annual pass. And Universal, it's $110 for a single day ticket and $160 to $530 for an annual pass. So Knott's Berry Farm is a lot more affordable compared to its competitors. Knott's attracts young teens and adults that are seeking thrill rides offered at the park. They also have a section in the amusement park called Camp Snoopy, which is for families and children. The location of Knott's Berry Farm is very convenient for traveling customers. As for Disneyland, Disneyland attracts children and families. They also have 2 parks with several attractions for both children and adults. More people are likely to go to Disney because of the brand marketing and great customer service, and customers seem to be willing to pay more for that. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Annie.
Thank you, Sophie. So for part 2, for product and service decision, we first recommend a product to help improve the internal operations of Knott's Berry Farm, which is an app to help with employees training program that is employees access only. The purpose of this app is to emphasize on safety training for the staff in addition to the training that they received in person. These training modules will operate as different game rounds, so it will be more engaging for the employees to review and to learn the materials. And it will also enhance on teaching about engineering maintenance to maintain everyone's safeties overall. And now, so we'll talk about a product to help improve the external competitiveness.
Thank you, Annie. As for external competitiveness, we recommend boosting their team events to improve their vibes and atmosphere. One of their main attraction is their seasonal event, which can be repetitive and lack variety. They should add new features and promote more seasonal events to help stay with the modern trends. Renovating and upgrading their attraction and amenities can further improve the park's atmosphere and help maintain a cleaner look. Some of the renovation and improvements include repainting, repairing rides and buildings, regularly maintaining their restroom, and even constructing a new parking structure to organize incoming and outgoing traffic. Knott's Berry Farm should also upgrade their redder blend design by adding lights and decoration to improve more exciting and welcoming aesthetic. Now I'll pass it on to Danny.
Thank you, Sue. So moving on, we're going to be talking about the new target segments and promotions internally and externally. So for internally, we are going to look at all employees at Knott's Berry Farm. We're looking to implement improved and more training services with a focus in the orientation and training processes for the new employees. And as for all employees, we are looking to incorporate the new employee app, which will have designated areas for the various employees to look for relevant job information. Now I'm going to pass it on to Kaden for the external.
Thank you, Danny. So for the external improvements in Knott's Berry Farm, the main target audience for both the event changes and the new decorations are families as well as a group of friends. So there are a few strategies available in order to promote these improvements, with the main one being their official social media pages. Their posts can include photos of some of the additions around the park and the constant changes they're making to their seasonal events each year. Another way to promote these changes is through their own website with photos and a brief description right on the top of the homepage. The advertisement can offer an option to provide an email address right there so they can receive various promotional mail relating to the improvements and event changes. Also, Knott's can introduce discounted tickets on days for early showings of their seasonal events, so visitors can see the new changes at a slightly cheaper price of both the events and the highly maintained new decor. And this can generate word of mouth. And now I'll pass it on to Kevin.
Okay, so we're going to talk about cost, price, and profitability at the park right now. Okay, so developing an app for Knott's is not cheap. It's actually pretty expensive. Costs probably about a couple $100,000, and that's just for the employees. Amusement parks, luckily, typically run on fixed costs though, so they don't have many variable costs. So like an increase in sales revenue doesn't necessarily always lead into an increase in cost. Like park maintenance, for example, is always going to be needed. Knott's should slightly raise the price of the tickets and the sales and the season pass, so it's not so much of an average notice. Most consumers will just shrug it off due to inflation and increase of cost of living. And advertising is great, but it's like gambling. It doesn't guarantee more people will come into the park. It only guarantees that they'll be exposed to new things in the park and as well as be aware of the park's existence. So I'm going to pass it on to Sophie.
Okay, so Knott's Berry Farm can implement an app for training purposes as well as create a more up-to-date look by repainting and upscaling the attractions. That concludes our presentation. Thank you.